I decided to spend 10 hours learning Tracer to become a little bit less miserable when I play her.
Bruh.
Whoops.
That's fine.
Huh? What? Ah, what? Dude, like, can you stop? Can you actually stop? Like, please, for a sec. How?
Think.
No, but I recalled. And guess what? I became even more miserable than I was before. Let's get started. On hour 1, I already knew that the Tracer is going to be a very, very hard character to learn.
Emotional damage! In the backline.
I got no.
Nice.
And there you can have an analogy with learning the piano. So before I even started training and playing actual games, I went to YouTube and searched for a guide. And after watching quite a few of them, I can recommend you only one guide on the Tracer you will ever need to watch. It was recorded by active Overwatch League player Tante 2 years ago, yet it's still holding on perfectly, and the tips that he's giving there are so valuable. I highly advise you to check it out. After watching a guide a few times, I hopped onto a custom game with a custom code VAXTA and started training. I was focusing on landing all of my shots, hitting the pulse bombs, getting a cheeky blink to the back and then to the front kills. I was practicing blink punches, and I highly advise you to be consistent with your training routine, as this is gonna be one of the most important things that will make a difference between you failing on Tracer and being an exceptional player. Hour 2, and this is where I started playing competitive. My starting rank was Diamond 1, although my MMR was a lot higher than that. I was constantly playing with master players throughout the journey. It was very challenging, but at the same time very fun, because all I was playing is hitscan characters, and the fact that you can change the pace and the playstyle was very new, refreshing, and I felt great, even when I failed.
No! What am I... Jesus!
The biggest struggle of hour 2 I had was the fact that I was constantly out of position, and you really need to feel the flow of the game on Tracer. You really need to understand where you should approach or retreat, wait or engage. This was not in my head at all. I was focused so much on my personal performance that I forgot that there was a world around me. A world that can mess up your 150 HP body really quickly if you will lose focus, and I lost it a lot. And the most embarrassing thing is that I came to realization that there are certain team comps and certain maps that I just cannot force Tracer on. This is gonna be so painful, so useless, and just completely insane to even try to do that. So if you take a look at here, I have Junkertown here, and I have less damage than my Kiriko player. I have less damage than my Kiriko player. And if you take a look at every single enemy character, I cannot do anything to any of that guy. After quite a few lost games on the 3-hour mark, I came into realization that something needs to change. So I looked at the maps and asked myself, can I play Tracer here?
Oh, that's a Widow map. We're gonna go Widow here.
Am I gonna be really valuable for a team? Will I be able to pick off the enemy backline? Will I be able to peel off the tank? If the answer was no, I switched. And usually, if there is not a Tracer map, there is a Widow map. And if you cannot play Widow here, you can play Cassidy. So I kind of rotated between these 3 characters, and it gave me a sense of relief. It made me feel like I am not mindlessly bashing my head onto the wall. I felt like I am useful again, and I felt like I am playing on my rank, which is like Master 4 level. I felt like I am alive again. At the 3-hour mark, I was getting more familiar with blink usage. I was not wasting my blinks. I was not getting caught off guard with my recall being on cooldown. I was finally able to do a 180 rotation when you blink behind the back of the enemy and then quickly snap your crosshair onto him as you blink to maximize your DPS potential and get the value out of your character. This was amazing. Hour 4 and we are arriving at Arctic Peninsula after a few widow maps. On the last map, I felt like the game started being a little bit challenging. Not because I played bad, but because the quality of opponents started rising up. I was playing with two of my friends, they were both masters, and I was playing in master/grandmaster lobbies all the time. And obviously, as a player that's trying to learn a new character, this can be, and this was a very, very discouraging experience. I was dying a lot, I was raging, I did not understand what am I doing wrong and why am I in lobbies like this. But you learn that resilience is one of the better traits of a man, so there is no other thing just to go through that experience, become stronger. When you tear a muscle 1,000 times, you get a very strong muscle. When you die 1,000 times on a tracer, you just become emotionally unstable and want to delete the game. I remember hour 5 being a big milestone for me. I finally was able to figure out how and when to engage. I was able to understand the matchups, who do I touch, who do I ignore. I was able to ask my teammates for the right characters to play, yet I was still mechanically inferior. I was not able to kill anyone 1 versus 1, even if it was a very good matchup for me. I was not able to coordinate with my tank, and we were diving different targets at the wrong time, and the whole team is not ready. And I was relying on my team so much, I felt hopeless and helpless. I think, looking at the experience right now, I would have made a few changes here and there, and I would have definitely won those games if I would be a Grandmaster player, trying to rank up from Masters to Grandmasters. But you know what? I was definitely playing on my level, and I deserve to lose those games. If you want to win in Overwatch, you have to hard carry. You have to get 1 or 2 picks every single fight. You have to be exceptional. And I was definitely not at that time, nor I am after 10, 20, 30 hours of gameplay on Tracer. Hour 6, and I remember this was being one of my better games so far. I felt like I'm in control of the situation. I felt like I'm doing much. This is Esperanza, and Tracer is being picked every single time on a push map in every single scrim that I've watched. So this was a perfect fit in all situations. We had a very divish comp, and it worked exceptionally well. I was pressuring backline, I was sticking, I was doing a lot of stuff. The game was close at the end, but we were still able to get the W here. This was an exceptional game, and on our 6th I finally was able to reap what I saw. I finally was able to see the results of my dedication, of my training. I was very, very happy about that. The biggest thing that separated me on hour 1 in comparison with hour 6 is the fact that I was not afraid to take duels. I was not afraid to fight like a demon. I was not afraid to take 1v1s. And even if I die, it's okay. You have created space. I was such a loser for not doing that earlier. I've lost so many games because of that. Hour 7, and after one Widow map where I got an easy W because of the character choice, because I'm not forcing Tracer like an absolute idiot I was before. And we are moving into Oasis. It was an exceptionally hard matchup where the enemy players would have double hitscan DPS and a mercy pocket. So every single time I would go and engage, there was a chance of me getting absolutely demolished by an absolutely random one tap. Not only that, I was at risk at dying every single time. I couldn't kill anyone. It was so hard. They would have Ana Zen and I would just jump the backline. They were always together, clued up. Even though it was exceptionally difficult, I was still able to get some value out of my Tracer playstyle. I was constantly distracting the enemy tank, drawing attention, constantly making sure that every single time the DPS players are looking in front of them, there is a person on the right or on the left staring at them, waiting to make a positional mistake to punish them for that. Looking back at the result of this game, which was a loss, I'm now safe to say that I was not doing enough damage. There was not enough value to get the winning edge on this particular map. Honestly, I should have switched Tracer to a hit scan and take care of enemy backline, and then destroy the Risa, which has high HP pool and low damage, and then take care of DPS players without the backline and a tank. Our 8th. I remember this game like it was yesterday, because it was yesterday. This was New Queen Street, and it was a very interesting map. I felt like every single pulse bomb that I threw landed, and every single time I would engage a person, I would pull out some insane clips. This was a moment of an absolute flow state where you were in such a great spirit. You were absolutely popping off. Very enjoyed that game. We had a great team to back me up on my every push attempt. And I felt amazing, I felt great. They had Widow on a push map, which is really, really bad, and I was punishing her quite a lot. These are the games that you struggle for. On hour 9, I was able to get my Diamond 1 back, and I was feeling very, very confident that I would be able to hit my Master 4, which was my peak rank, and then climb up higher, maybe get to GM. But then we queue up a game, and do you remember this Korean Hanzo player? Oh boy, this guy was so toxic towards me, but then we kinda managed to get the even ground. This game was a complete struggle, and I was trying my absolute hardest to win it. It felt like every single opponent was just making sure that my life was as miserable as it possibly can be on Tracer. After a successful teamfight, we were able to flip the point, although after that the Hog landed a really good hook, and then the Penguin dude was able to land an insane triple kill on the Hanzo. And again, you can see that this guy is still very much toxic towards me. And after a 99 to 99%, I was finally able to find value, stick a beautiful pulse onto the Kiriko, then went to the Hog, get some peel off of him, and was able to get a W on this map. On the second map, they counter-picked us with Torb and took Echo against Farah, and we managed to lose 99 to 100 and went for the third and final deciding one.
Nice. Soldier, nice. Let's go.
For the majority of the map, I played Cassidy because they had Echo and we needed to counter that. But then I switched to Tracer back again to do an absolute monstrous plays.
Echo half. Dead. Monkey. Echo dead.
Last and final hour 10 of this challenge. A very interesting, painful, and exciting challenge that I went through. This 10th hour was my farewell to Tracer. I'm definitely going to play her more often in the future, although I will never ever force this character into a wrong comp. For example, we have a static tank, a static support. I would think 3 times before I take Tracer, because this character is team dependent and you really need that dive element to make you a better character in general. For the 10th map, I took Esperanza.
I think I just killed the Spider-Man.
And I was cooking a 20 course Michelin star on it. I felt absolute best. It felt like I am in such a flow state where everything lands, everything hits, I am in the right time. And it was so exciting, so great that even though I struggled a lot, this last and final map was worth it at the end. Thank you very much for sticking around for that long. This was great. I'm gonna continue doing these types of videos. I'm really excited. See you in the next one. Take care.